We got
Now, before I want to give couple of shout outs to Naim Kosher Pizza in Brooklyn, New York, Dave's Pizza in Lawrence, Traditions in Lawrence and Florida, and Mittman's Home Security Systems.
awesome.
Okay, let's get into our interview.
Thank you.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kew Gardens, New York, in Queens.
Ah, I think I know your mother.
Yes, I think you might. You might know my mother. My mother, we're still in the same, she's still in the same apartment building
Really?
in the Sekenic building. It used to be called the Sekenic building. Now it's not owned by them anymore. They sold it. But yeah. So
Yeah,
there's on Lefferts Boulevard, on Lefferts Boulevard.
yeah,
So we're still there. And I grew up in Kew Gardens, and when I was 8 years old, my father, Oliver Sholem, took me for accordion lessons in March of 1969. March 8th, 1969 was my first accordion lesson. And then me and my brother, we went for 10 years. We took accordion lessons for 10 years. I took from 8 to 18, and my brother took from 6 to 16. And then I started learning piano when I was 15 years old. I was learning piano. And then I had a natural ability to write music and songs and
yeah.
perform. And that started happening when I was like 20 years old. So when I was 20 years old, when I was in my like third or fourth year of college, I was in Queens College. That's when I started performing with the Shemesh Orchestra. It was a wedding band. We did bar mitzvahs and we did NCSY Shabbatons in New York region, NCSY 1980, 81. We might have been 81, 82, actually, now I think about it.
Okay, where did you go for elementary school?
I went to Yeshiva Central Queens. Now, at that time, that school was in Jamaica, New York, but then they moved to Kew Garden Hills. Now they're in Kew Garden Hills.
Oh,
So I went to YCQ. It's called YCQ, Yeshiva Central Queens, and
yeah,
I graduated from there 50 years ago. But I'm so young.
yeah.
What can I say?
Where did you go for high school?
High school, I went to MTA, Yeshiva University High School in Washington Heights.
Wow.
And it was nice. I graduated in 1978 from high school. And then I went to Queens College after that. I took accounting and I took music.
Did you go for base metrics or you say you went to college?
No, I went straight to college. I didn't go to base medrash. I didn't go to Israel for a year. I did learn, but not in a base medrash setting.
Oh, okay. Um, what did you do after college?
So I became an accountant where I worked in accounting for 3 years.
Wow.
And then on weekends, I would do NCSY Shabbatons where I was the band. I would play music all over America. And then finally, after 3 years of accounting, I decided I would try music permanently, only music, no accounting. And I left accounting and I put out my first album in 1984 with my second band, which was called Kesher, Kesher. And we put out an album in 1984 in March. And in 1985, Kesher 2. And in 1987, Kesher 3. And then in between Kesher 2 and Kesher 3, SHLOCK came out in January of 86.
Before I go on, how did you come up was the name SHLOCK Rock.
So schlock rock is a Yiddish word which means used or second hand. So let's say you buy a couch from somebody and it's not new, it's used. So that's called a schlocky couch. You know, so what I do is I take music and I reuse the music. I have the old music, which I take, and then I put
Yeah.
new words to it. So we have schlock rock, secondhand rock. That's how I came up with it.
At what age did you start singing?
Well, I was singing since 9 years old, but not professionally. But I was
Oh,
learning. I was learning all the nusach tefillah. I was learning chazanut or chazanis. You know, I learned how to lane when I was bar mitzvah. I
yeah.
by 17 I was a full-time balkore where I did every week. I laned every week. Music came naturally to me. Anything musical came naturally to me. So, but I started singing to getting paid when I was like 20, 21 years old.
Oh, how many albums do you have out?
We have 41 albums, and I'm working on my 42nd.
Wow. I I think I have two of them. I forgot them at home, but I think I have two of them.
That sounds good.
I think your mother gave them to me as a present.
Probably. We had a lot of them. Now we don't have that many because nobody buys CDs anymore. So you just kind of it's all MP3. Everything is MP3.
Yeah, I have um Shabbos when you hands over the challah and when you have a top hat and a coat.
Right. So you have Bring Back That Shabbos Feeling. That's Schlock Rock
Yeah,
7. And you also have Schlock Rock Almost on Broadway. The top hat and the coat is Schlock Rock Almost on Broadway with soup and challah candlesticks. Kiddush is
yeah,
delicious. Right?
yeah.
Very good.
Um, what is your favorite song of all your albums?
So when you have 567 songs, you don't really have a favorite. You like a lot of them or you like all of them. Some you like more, some you like less. But I'll give you some of my favorites. I love the song Bavel from that Almost on Broadway album, right?
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
great song. I love of the original music that I wrote, Hine Matov, back in 1982. Hine Matov, Umanaim. I love that song. I love I love uh, you know all a lot of the songs they're just they're you know if you record it and then you perform it you like it, or else if you don't like it then why are you doing what you're doing? You have to like what you do.
yeah. What what do you do when you're not singing
well you,
and performing?
so I'm managing the band, which means that we're working on the next tour. For those who are interested, I'm going to be coming into America at the end of August, beginning of September. If you guys want a concert, you should email me. Very easy. It's lenny@schlockrock.com. And then I we will set up a concert for you. If you uh that's part of the things that I do. Also, you make new albums. I'm right now working on album number 42, so I'm working on that. Also,
Yeah,
I've got a musical on the book of Daniel, called Daniel in Babylon. So I'm raising money so that that musical comes to the stage. I'm not going to be in it, but I'm the writer. So those are the three things, the main things that I'm working on. And then I have a family, so I'm with my family. My wife. I have four daughters, Bulia and Hara. You know,
yeah. Um, if you hear someone else's music or singing, do you drink?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Do I drink?
Like, if you hear someone else's music sing or singing, do you drink wine, alcohol? You don't want to hear them sing?
Oh, you mean before my show? You mean?
No, it's like a little joke. I saw someone, a singer, drink one time by another guy's concert. That's what how it came out. That's how
Ah.
the joke came out.
No, so I don't drink anyway. I mean, I eat. I eat. You could see how I look. I eat, but drinking I don't do.
Yeah. Um. How did who did you get inspired by to start singing?
A lot of people. I'm gonna say the Diaspora Yeshiva Band with Avraham Rosenblum. I'm gonna say Gershon Veroba, who's got a whole lot of albums out. He's so good.
He
And
he is the best.
yes, he's one of my inspirations. And in the
Yeah.
Goyish world, Billy Joel. I like Billy Joel. I like also Weird Al Yankovic, who does parodies. I like Tom Lehrer, who also does satire. I like. There's a lot of great artists, but the ones that inspired me growing up were uh, were Gershon Veroba and then the Avraham Rosenblum and the Magama duo. They were all good. You know, they were people that I wanted to be like.
And someone just came in. I told them,
That's okay. They can
yeah,
come in.
yeah,
This is what
um,
they call live TV, right?
yeah. Um, are you coming? You said you are coming out with a new album.
Yeah, it's called Schlock Rock Old School, and it's songs from the 70s and 80s that I missed the first time around, and it's really fun. It's just really fun. There'll be a lot of good, fun songs on it. People will be happy because one of the things that Schlock Rock does is it makes people happy. You know, it's important to have simcha. It's important to be happy in your life.
Yeah. Do you have any funny stories that happened to you by a show or a wedding?
I have tons of funny stories. So let's talk about the time when me and my drummer we were hired to play a concert in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh man.
Oh, was that far, far, far? You have to travel and travel and travel and travel.
Yeah,
So we're on the road, we're in the plane, and we're heading to Anchorage, Alaska. And the pilot gets on and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a volcano eruption over Mount St. Helens. We're going to have to detour your plane to Los Angeles." Okay. So now we're going to Los Angeles, right? We're
yeah,
supposed to be going to Alaska, but we're going to Los Angeles.
yeah,
Now I get off the plane and I think to myself, okay, now what? So now we're waiting online to talk to the agent, the lady behind the counter. And while we're online, my feet start moving because there's an earthquake in Los Angeles. So we first had a volcano over
volcano in
Seattle. Now we
Alaska.
had an earthquake in LA. So
Yeah,
now we're in LA for a day, and then on the next day we fly to Alaska. And when we get to Alaska, we're driving in Alaska, and there's a sign that says road closed because of avalanche. So we had a volcano, an earthquake, and an avalanche in 2 days. It was one of those. It was a very funny story, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that Shabbos, we had a show on Sunday, so we came for Shabbos, and it was 30 degrees, but it was snowing. 30 degrees, but it was snowing, and the guy that we were staying with had a hot tub. There was 104 degrees water, so we're in the snow in the winter in a hot tub outside with seltzer. We were having seltzer. It was really funny. It was a funny story. So
Yeah.
that was one of our stories. Uh, at a you know now let me see what else I have to tell you about a wedding. Do I have any funny wedding stories? Um, no, no, pretty much all of our weddings went normally.
Yeah.
Um, uh, once I was at a wedding where the waiters started fighting with the guests,
Wow.
and that was a little scary.
Yeah.
But
That must be fired.
yeah, but that was so long ago. And then what happened was is that when we were playing and they're fighting with each other, and then we stop playing, and somebody goes play, so we play, and then somebody else goes stop, so we stop. Then somebody else goes play, so we play. So that was the funny. That was pretty funny, but it
Yeah.
was also not such a pleasant story. That wasn't such a pleasant story.
No.
I'll tell you. So we had a lot of funny stories with uh, with the band. Let me see if I have any more stories that I could tell you. Um, Once we were getting to the airport. This was in 1984. So in 1984, it was before 9/11. So because it was before 9/11, they were not as strict with security. So
Yeah.
we got to the airport and we were 20 minutes before the flight. Now, if you would get to the airport and you're 20 minutes before the flight, they don't
You
let you
missed
on the plane. You
you
missed it.
missed it.
But in 1984, I took $20 and I put it into the Sky Cab's hand. And he took my keyboard, which weighed 70 pounds, and put it on his trolley. And we went right through, no security. We went right through, right on the plane. And we
Wow.
made the plane. It was great. It was what a story that was. That would never happen today. Can't happen
Yeah.
today, right?
Um. Yeah. What never happened. At what age did you start performing live?
Um, uh, Schlockrock or Kesher or Shemesh Orchestra. So Shemesh
And
Orchestra was 1980, 81. Kesher was like 82, 83. And Schlockrock, the first shows of Schlockrock was at the end of 87, beginning of 88 were the first concerts that we ever did. And then we performed and performed and performed. And I've played all 50 US states. I'm the only musician to play all 50 US states.
wow.
You know,
They have 51 states.
no, there are only 50 states, and then there are two territories. There's a um, Puerto Rico, Guam, and then there's the District of Columbia, but that's not a state. Washington D.C. That's where the
Oh,
capital is. Yeah.
okay. Thank you for letting me interview you. And hold on, before I say goodbye, where do you live now?
You're calling Beit Shemesh, Israel.
Wow.
I live in
What
Beit
time?
Shemesh.
What time is it over there?
It's 15. 6:15. It's 15 minutes after the hour of 6 p.m.
Wow.
And it's the best. Israel's the best. I must tell all of you who are in America to start planning to move because Israel's the place to be.
It's still a war in Israel now.
Yeah, but it's not in Israel. It's outskirts of Israel. It's not really
Uh,
true. It's south. It's in the south, but if you go to Yerushalayim, it doesn't. You're not in any danger. I mean, you're in danger if you go into Gaza, and if you're danger if
yeah,
you go into Lebanon. But but
okay.
I still say you got to move to Israel.
Okay. Thank you for letting me interview you. Have a wonderful night and hope to do this again.
Amen. And it was a pleasure. And thank you for interviewing me. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.